Hey everybody, I am Jared Clark with Airguns of Arizona. Today we're going to be doing a product review, and that product we're going to be reviewing is the Airgun Technology's Uragan. This is a compact but heavy hitting rifle. This one chambered in .22 caliber will do about 32 foot-pounds and get you 190 shots per fill. That is off of a 300 bar regulator, but that is impressive nonetheless for a 33-inch gun. Let's go ahead and put this one under the microscope. Let's prove it on the range, and then we'll shoot it at 50 to see the accuracy. So we have in front of us the Uragan in the box as you would expect to receive it. We're gonna do a quick unboxing and show you exactly what you could expect when you receive this gun. So each gun is in a cardboard shipping case. So we're gonna get that out of the way. You do get this nice soft case here. It's labeled Airgun Technologies for you. And it is big enough that the scope and the gun do fit in there together, which is nice. So here we have the gun. It has a couple nice straps here to keep it in place while it's in there. And then you will get the owner's manual, which is going to cover a lot of the things that I cover in this video. And then you get your accessory box in the soft case. And if we open up the accessory box, you get a pin that also doubles as a measuring device, so you can measure your group size and then write how small it was and tag yourself online or tag all your friends. So you have a nice caliper on the side of your pin that comes with it. You get a keychain with an Airgun Technologies logo on it. And then you have another bag here that's gonna have your hardware. This is the fill probe, and it comes attached to a microline hose with a DIN and a bleeder valve. So if you use an Omega tank, you can put this directly into your valve, or you can take the probe off of it, put a quick connect on, and use it like that. So it's still 1/8 thread. They just give you a hose, a bleeder, and a connector, all with your probe. Get a couple breech seals, just for nice to have on hand. And then you will get two. These are 12-shot magazines because we're doing the .22 caliber today, but each gun does come with 2 magazines. So that is everything that you could expect to get on the unboxing of the video. So we're just gonna put this stuff back real quick, and we'll grab you the one that's already set up. So we went ahead and mounted the Miopta Optics Optica 6 on this gun. This is a new optic to us. It's a really good piece of glass, European made, high quality glass, and it matches the gun really well. So we got the Optica 6 up top. We have the Atlas bipod on the bottom here holding it up. And here is the gun itself, the Uragan. This is a really small, compact bullpup. And usually when you think compact, you think you're compromising something, be it power or noise level. It's not the case with this gun. This gun is small, it is heavy hitting, and it's also very, very quiet right out of the box. There's really no need to add anything to the setup as it sits, but you do have that option if you want. So let's start at the back. We'll move forward. We'll talk about all the features this gun has, and then we'll really put it under a microscope and dissect what's here. In the back here, you have a rubberized butt pad. This is adjustable up and down, so you can get it very comfortable with your specific shooting style. Up top, the cheek piece, this is made out of a nice polymer material. It's very high durability, and it's not gonna show wear. So that's really nice and a good comfortable place to reset your head when you're looking through the scope. Underneath that, this one is the wood. We showed you earlier when we were taking it out of the box that it is available in the synthetic plastic as well. As you can see, it's the black synthetic versus the wood. And then the only other difference between the two is the M-LOK accessory rail. This one is the same material as the stock, so it's a molded polymer. This one is a metal. Only two differences. Other than that, everything else will remain the same. The gun does utilize a multi-shot magazine system with the side lever cocking. The side lever cocking is on the left-hand side right out of the box, but it can be switched very simply to the right side. So if you are a left-handed shooter, this gun can be set up completely to fit you by switching the bolt with about 6 to 8 screws removal. Right underneath the bolt here, this is the 2-stage match trigger. These are very crisp on this gun, even though there's a little bit of a linkage going on. It is a very crisp, no creep trigger at all. You have a mechanical safety in front of that. When it's snapped back, the trigger cannot go anywhere. It blocks it from engaging. Push it forward, and now the gun can be fired. On this side, we do have the gauge, the pressure gauge. This will tell you how much pressure is inside your tank still. This rifle can hold 300 bar, so it is a high pressure fill, and it gets a lot of shots with that. We'll talk more about that on the range. And that being said, this gun is regulated. I don't know if I'd mentioned that yet, but these are regulated rifles. We'll see that at the chronograph. It's very consistent. They do a great job of keeping it tight, but these are regulated platforms as well. So lightweight, compact, heavy hitting, regulated. This one really checks all the boxes as we go. Underneath the trigger here at the bottom, you do get a Picatinny style accessory rail. That is what I have this Atlas bipod connected to. It just snaps right on. And then out in front of that Picatinny rail, you have an M-LOK accessory rail. So this right here can accept any kind of your firearms, M-LOK accessories. I know they make a lot for ARs, so that's what this is. With that in mind, they give you this accessory rail. On the wooden version here, it's a metal rail. It's a really high quality. On the synthetic, it's a polymer rail. So that's, other than the material the stocks are made out of, that's the only other difference between the wood and synthetic, is the accessory rail up front is metal on the wood version here. Right above the accessory rail, and what it's wrapped around very nicely, is this 530cc carbon fiber bottle. This one's a little bit different than most air rifles that you've seen that have the very specific size bottle. This one's stretched out, it's elongated a little bit, but it still has the same capacity at 530 cc's. And that's one of my favorite parts of this gun. I don't know whether it's the unique look of it or whether it's the way that the bottle and the stock kind of stretch the length, but that's one of the things that I think grabs my attention first, is the way that they incorporated this carbon fiber bottle. It was done really well, and it really grabs your eye on the Airgun Technology's Uragan here. Right above that bottle, this is the Shrouded Barrel. So we're not actually looking at the barrel, this is just the shroud. They have their most recent version here that has kind of these little lines at the end of the shroud. That indicates that it has the most recent baffle system in there, and it is very, very quiet. Like I mentioned earlier, it's compact and quiet. They are threaded here at the end. You have an additional thread if you want to add anything, but in my humble opinion, there is no reason to. Maybe unless you're going with a 30 caliber, it's incredibly quiet, and we'll see that back when we shoot it, but right out of the box, very, very quiet. Shrouds are threaded, like we said. This one is not a 1/2 inch by 20 UNF like your standard, a lot of your standard airgun moderators. So that is a proprietary thread. Airgun Technologies does make a proprietary moderator as well that'll go right on there, or you can get an adapter that'll take that to 1/2 inch, and then you can work with any of the 0DBs or Donnie FLs. The Picatinny scope rail has become really common in a lot of the setups. It was really popular in the United States with our firearm markets, but they have been slowly transitioning them into air guns, so it makes it really easy to swap all your accessories. In the middle of the block here, there is a dust plug. That is where you fill the gun. It uses a probe. Each gun does come with a probe that'll go right in there and will allow you to fill it to 300 bar. Underneath the shroud, these use a 22.5 inch match grade barrel. Very, very accurate, as we'll see at the range, but the barrel runs from here to about here. So it gives you the ability to produce that power and keeping the overall size of the gun compact with its Bullpup design here. So the stock is cut with no raised cheek piece or anything that dictates which side you have to shoot it from. So left-handed shooters, like we talked about earlier, you can flip that bolt and have a truly left-handed, or if you're right-handed shooter, it's all right here, ready to go. So we mentioned the adjustable 2-stage trigger on the Uragan, and I went ahead and took the stock off one to show you one of the cooler features I thought when it comes to this trigger. Bullpups, like we mentioned, you have a linkage arm and sometimes they can get sloppy. On this gun right here, you have this window right here. It's kind of hard to see, but as you cock the gun, it physically exposes where the two sears engage. So when you make your adjustments, you can physically see the edge that they come together on. So you can adjust it to get it really where it's tight enough, but then it breaks with absolutely no friction. It's a really cool feature for people who like to tinker with their guns, but I just like that feature on the Uragan. I think it's really unique, and I think it shows some of the innovation that they use over at Airgun Technologies. Without a scope, the Uragan comes in at 7.9 pounds, so it is relatively lightweight, but all metal and wood construction, it does have a good feel in your hands. The Uragan is available in 177, 22, 25, and 30 calibers. All 4 options are available. The magazines in 177, you will have a 15-shot magazine. In 22, you have a 12-shot magazine. In 25 caliber, it is a 10-shot magazine. And in 30, you have 9 shots loaded in every mag. So the gun is a multi-shot biathlon lever side cocking gun. And everything about it is smooth when you operate it. Regardless of caliber, you will be impressed with the shot count as well as the performance. Uragans do come with a 1-year manufacturer's warranty, so over the first year of the rifle, you are fully covered against all defects. So on the surface, we've seen all the features that the Uragan has. We're gonna put 300 bar in it, we're gonna run a shot count back at the range, and then we're gonna take it out to 50, do what we normally do. So let's get at it and let's see what the Uragan can do. We have the Uragan here at the 20-yard range. We put 300 bar in it. What we're gonna do is give you a group size for accuracy at 20 yards, and then we're gonna do an entire shot string from 300 bar down to when it falls off the regulator. So we're gonna crunch some numbers, we're gonna give you some good technical data, and we're gonna get a feel for accuracy indoors. So let's get to that, then we'll take it out to 50 yards and really stretch out its legs. The 22 caliber is a 12-shot magazine. It's very simple to load, and I'm gonna show you that real quick before we get shooting. The internal drum here is independent of the outer case. So as we turn it, I line that right there up so where it makes a nice circle, but it's not where the pellet can fall straight through. So when that lines up, simply put the head of the pellet in there, it can't fall out the back, and rotate it to the next point where they line up and make a circle. So it's a very simple magazine to load. All right, see there, the last one, the magazine tension holds itself. We have 12 preloaded, and then when it goes into the gun, there's this nice cut here that will go into the ball detent. So as we do that, you'll hear a nice click. Now it's in there, can't rattle out, and then you give it a nice push and it'll come back out the side. Really simple magazine, but it works great in the setup. They pop in and out effortlessly, and the gun comes with 2 right out of the box. So we have 12 of the JSB 18-1s preloaded in the magazine. We do 20 yards to give us an idea for accuracy. So we're gonna do the whole magazine, try and hit the middle of the target and get an indication for 20 yards indoor accuracy. All right, so there is an entire magazine just punching out the dead center of the target there. It's crisp when the gun goes off, it's light recoil, everything about it is just really enjoyable, and there you can see 12 shots just breaking out the center. So at 20 yards, I have great expectations for accuracy. We have 300 bar in the rifle, and what we're gonna do now is figure out the shot count. Like we talked about, it's a 530cc bottle, so we're gonna calculate how many shots in 22 caliber we can get and look at the extreme spread, look at the feet per second, calculate energy, all of the good technical information that you come here for. So let's get shooting. Okay, so long time later, we saw that off of a 300 bar fill, the 22 caliber shooting 18 grain pellets averaged 891 feet per second. And if you crunch that number, it's gonna be right at 32 foot-pounds of energy. So plenty for hunting, target shooting, competition. It's a really good speed for a JSB 18.1 grain pellet. But what's really impressive to me is the 184 shots, 190 shots that I got on one single fill. So that is the epitome of efficiency. It's doing everything it can with every last bit of air using the regulator and the 300 bar. The other thing that's really impressive about this whole shot string is the extreme spread of 11 feet per second. So over 190 shots, the fastest shot and the slowest shot was only 11 foot per second spread. And if you calculate it out and I do standard deviation correctly, that's actually lower than 1. That's actually closer to like 0.6 of a standard deviation, which is insane. Yeah. That's incredibly efficient. That's a regulator working like it should, and that's a gun that really gives you what you want in an air gun. It's small, it's hard hitting, and it gives you lots and lots of consistent shots. So, awesome day at the 20-yard range here. Let's take it out to 50 yards and see how it performs. Okay, so we have the Airgun Technology's Uragan outside here at our 50-yard range. We're gonna try and put a 5-shot group together on paper downrange and see what kind of accuracy we can hold together. So far, everything about this gun has been great. So let's see what kind of 50-yard group we can get.
Cool. All right, well, there was 5. Let's get down there and see what it looks like.
That is really tight, if you ask me. A little bit of a breeze out today, but just stacking them, just like it did at 20 yards. You know, consistency was right there. I'm sure the velocity was all right on top of each other like we saw at 20. But 1-inch coin for reference, it's completely gone. I mean, I'd venture a guess to say that that's probably closer to 1/2 inch than an inch. Just shows great repeatability. It shows that the gun, even at 50 yards, can put pellet on top of pellet. All right, let's take this one back into the showroom and finish it up. Okay, there you have it. That is the Airgun Technologies, and as quick of a wrap up as I can give it to you. We saw that this compact, lightweight bullpup was capable of hitting hard and doing it a lot. I was really impressed with the 190 shots per fill, as well as the extreme spread of 11 feet per second. That is insane consistency. That's a regulator doing its job, and this is a small package that absolutely kills it. I really enjoyed shooting the Uragan today. I know that if you put your hands on one, you would do the same, and I really hope you enjoyed this review. If you like this video, please do subscribe below and keep an eye out for more like it. Follow our email list on airgunsofArizona.com or check us out on Instagram. Any way you can follow us, please do so. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.